Free to believe. Let's escape the gray and let the colors rain. Turn the shit we do and our words into pure reality. 'Cause you and me are meant to be what they don't see. Never feeling wrong 'cause we don't belong. And getting high in love, we're invincible. Trust in me, we're invincible. Don't you see, we're invincible. We're invincible.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 7th edition of the OCE Paladins Community Tournament Night. Tonight I am joined by a special guest, one of the veteran members of the community, it's Lionberg.
Oh, thanks, MattSe. Really happy to be here, getting back into the casting. I haven't done this for quite a while, so quite excited to start it off with CTN tonight.
Really happy to have you on board, and I think we've got some absolutely exciting matches before us tonight. The first one's going to be Daddy's Here and Squeaker Squad.
Yeah, pretty exciting. We have Daddy's Here being captained by VP and Squeaker Squad being captained by Hippie. Some pretty good players on each side, though. As we're getting into drafting, we do see a couple of Masters on one side and just a bunch of Diamonds. So maybe it's balanced, maybe it's not. We'll have to find out.
Now, the map in question for this one, obviously being Stone Keep. The first ban has come out on Hippie's side of things, banning out that Makoa first pick. Interesting of him to ban that one now, because usually the blue side would opt to take the Makoa first pick, so interesting of them to ban that one out first.
Yeah, definitely. They do have Zevedator 3000 on Daddy's Here, and, he's quite a well-renowned Makoa player, so that may have played a part in their thinking of banning the Makoa there. And, Makoa overall is such a really strong pick. We also see Charlene being banned out from the red side here. Charlene also another really strong pick at the moment, though. I don't know, not too sure if ban-worthy. Maybe they could have been something else. Not too sure. Haven't played too much in this meta. We are seeing Terminus first picked here from the blue side, and Drogos and Inara, which overall are pretty good picks so far.
We haven't actually seen Terminus played at all within OCE Paladins competitive play thus far throughout the regular season of the PGS, so interesting to see him coming out here actually.
Yeah, definitely. He did actually get a bit of a buff in the last patch where his attack actually got a 25% increased range, so it makes it a lot easier for him now to chase down targets. Obviously, his movement ability being a big leap, which slows enemies, which is really good as well. So not bad on this map. Maybe that leap can help him get up onto some higher ground if necessary. And we do see Andro Maldumba coming out from the blue side here, followed up by Ruckus and Grok here from the red. Not too sure about Ruckus. I mean, Ruckus still pretty good, but he did get a solid nerf. His unit boost being removed on that advance from decreased from 30 to 20. So he actually does struggle to get on top of high ground structures now. So interesting to see how he'll go on this map.
Now, the last two picks coming out on the blue side, KrunchyBones opting to lock in that Torvald. That Hyper Meme is going to be pretty crucial on this map. There are a few angles that it can be utilized in, but will it be enough up against the comp that is coming out from Daddy's Here?
Yeah, it's quite interesting, I feel like Torvald and BK are both really strong picks. Actually, Daddy's Here following up with the Talus here, and Talus, I feel like, is a bit underrated at the moment in the current meta. I think we have seen it a little bit in EU and the NAPPL, but really not at all in Oceania. I actually expected to see it as PAX as more of a pocket pick, but unfortunately we didn't get to see it. So it's cool to see it getting picked up in this game.
It is, and that's going to bring us to the end of the draft, folks. So while we set things up to get you guys in the game and ready for this action, we're going to head to a short break. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the 7th edition of the OCE Paladins Community Tournament Night. The first match of the night will be before us right away. Getting straight into it, it's going to be Squeaker Squad coming up against Daddy's Here. Who do you think's going to take this one away, Lionberg?
Difficult, you know. I feel like Daddy's Here do have VP and Zevenator on their side. Both players from Conspiracy. Not too sure what teams the players on Squeaker Squad fit in, but I do recognize a lot of them from competitive and casual play and know that they are good players. So I think overall this is going to be a quite interesting match. On Daddy's Here, I'm not too sure about their the path they've gone for vertical movement. Drogo's did have that thruster nerf by about 30%, so it's a bit difficult. He needs to have a lot. He needs to change up his playstyle, essentially. He can't be relying on that thrust too much now to get him out of trouble. And obviously, Rucker's getting his advance distance lowered, so we'll see how they play around high ground. Yeah, going to be an interesting match overall, I feel.
Now, we see a few of the items coming out overall now. Actually opting to get the Bulldozer on Terminus. That's an interesting one, but I can kind of see the reasoning behind it with that Warden's Field from the Inara and also the Grok Totem. I feel like that's maybe what's playing into that pick there.
Yeah, I think that's actually quite a smart pick coming up from Malice there. The Totem did get a buff in the recent patch where it got a lot more health, and the Grok here is actually also running Monolith Totem 2, which gives it an extra 500 health. So that makes it pretty tanky. Before, you know, it was easy to take down, so now it's quite tanky, and Bulldozer is really going to help out with that. Also, with the Inara Warden's Field as well, it's going to be quite important to get both of those taken down ASAP so they can get right in there.
Now, we had a question in the chat as to what CTN means. CTN actually stands for the Community Tournament Night, and that's what's going to be happening right now in the OCE region. Now, getting right into it, Lionberg, here come the teams.
Yeah, so we're going to be running straight onto point here. Squeaker Squad actually deciding to go up into the high ground. We're going to follow them. Hippie throwing out a Grumpy here, not really managing to stun anyone. Got a big wall coming up. Malastone needs to be careful. He's absorbing the shots, but Hippie is so low. He's getting taken down so fast. VP actually managed to come out with the first kill here. Melis goes down as well. Zevenator getting that one. KrunchyBones needs to be careful here. And that's such a good play there from Daddy's Here, managing to take out 3. Zevenator and VP working really well together to get into that backline. Boris actually going to fall there to Meldamba and Torvald. Daddy's Here, they're controlling, they're trying to control the stagger. They are stacked on point a little bit, but this is good. They're already up to 75%.
Well, as you mentioned earlier, the teamwork between VP and Zevenator may come through due to the fact that they are on Conspiracy with one another, I believe. But now it looks like Squeaker Squad are actually turning things around as KrunchyBones secured himself not 2 but 3 kills towards the point.
Actually, huge out from KrunchyBones here, managing to pick up that triple kill and really allowing Squeaker Squad to capture that point. General's pushing forward here to try and stagger. They're on 50-60%. Daddy's Here, they really need to get onto the point. VP's trying to look to do some damage, but gets taken out by KrunchyBones. Unfortunate there. This might be a point going the way of Squeaker Squad here, MattSe.
Oh, but Inara might have a thing or two to say about that. But that being said, here's Ruckus. Boris on the point. Unfortunately gets shut down by KrunchyBones there. Here's another one from Hippie. The guys on Daddy's Here being taken out one by one like dominoes. VP left all by himself with no friends to help him.
We did see such a great start there from Daddy's Here, managing to get that point to 93%. But Squeaker Squad, they didn't give up. They pushed straight back in. KrunchyBones being a significant player for Squeaker Squad there in capturing that point. Now we're going to see, are they going to be able to convert this? We do have Daddy's Here taking advantage of the high ground. KrunchyBones needs to get up there and he needs to try and deal with this. He's the only one really on his team with vertical movement. You know, the Terminus is okay, but they really need to try and control this push here. This choke is really difficult on Stone Keep. We do see an ult coming out. Inara getting taken down low, but Ruckus is actually going to take down Crunchy there. The Grok taking out Generals. This is a bit of a bloodbath, MattSe.
It is. Now things turning around back in Daddy's Here's favor. Starting to stabilize their defense here, but if they aren't able to take out Terminus, then the guys on Squeaker Squad are going to be able to stabilize in turn. That being said, there's a pick coming out from KrunchyBones, but fortunately gets traded out by Zev there.
This match is just back and forth. We are having action constantly here. Picks from either side are really changing the balance of both teams here and what they're going to be able to do. I think the Maldamba is playing a crucial part in this early stage of the game for Squeaker Squad. Grok is good, but that totem really is limited healing in a certain area where that Maldamba can sit back, throw the gourds, get the right clicks out, and do a lot more healing at this stage of the game. Malice actually getting taken out. He is going to pop his ult though. Not sure if that's going to take anyone out, but Inara and Grok also really low. We see Zevenir coming out instantly with that Dragon Punch or Determinus there. Exactly what he needed to do. KrunchyBones getting taken out by VP. VP doing work here. General's getting taken down as well. And Squeaker Squad, they're being pushed back.
Unfortunately for the Squeaker Squad, they weren't able to find anything out of that reanimate by the Terminus there. Obviously, if any enemies are caught in that, they will be dealt 4,000 damage to them, but not able to find anything out of that one.
Yeah, definitely. We've got 33 seconds remaining on the clock now. This is Squeaker Squad's really their last chance. If they can't get in here and make some plays, then they need to start building for their ultimates, making sure they're going into the next round with their ult. And Daddies here are looking to do that as well. They're going to hold out onto their ults as long as they can, aren't going to use it if necessary, so they make sure they go into the next round with advantage.
Now that being said, Hippie almost secured himself 2 picks there. Fortunately, Grok able to utilize his ultimate just in the nick of time. However, now both teams getting picks out towards one another. Daddy's here coming out on top it seems, but Hippie has a thing or two to say about that one. Now Daddy's here securing another pick to their name. Overtime ticking closer and closer towards the point here. I feel like Daddy's here is going to secure themselves a successful defense.
Yeah, they should definitely have this one. They've got the respawn. They've just taken out Terminus. Once they got the tanks down, it should be an easier defense for them. But VP actually getting chased here by Crunchy. He could get taken out. He does. And Hippie also managed to get a kill onto the Ruckus there. Really big plays from them. If they can keep this up, if they can, push through their advantage here, they might be able to cap this. But they got to be careful. As soon as the respawns start coming out from Daddies here, it's going to be a lot more difficult for them.
Well, respawns, but here's KrunchyBones taking out one of the members of Daddy's here. Another one surely soon to follow. If you take a look at the Inara's health, struggling to stay alive for the time being there. But here's KrunchyBones being uncontested once again. Manages to get another pick to his name with the help of Hippie. And there we go. Squeaker Squad secure the point 2-0 in their favor.
Absolutely huge push coming out from the Squeaker Squad there. They lost that Terminus, but they still pushed forward with their advantage. They still kept the pressure on Daddies here. The BK and the Androxus at this point are just doing absolute god work for this team.
Those two combo together, as you said, are doing absolute work for this team. Hopefully Daddies here will realize that they need to be stopped if they want to find some success coming into this next one, or otherwise we could be seeing a swift 4-0 victory in Squeaker Squad's favor.
Yeah, potentially, MattSe. We actually see that Squeaker Squad do have the ultimate advantage. They almost have that Terminus ult, but Daddies here having to pop a lot at the end there to try and get that defense. So Squeaker Squad really need to make use of their ults early in this game. We see VP coming out with an ult there. Doesn't get anyone. It actually gets taken out quite quick. Not sure if that was the most intelligent thing to do there, but he's done it. KrunchyBones actually gets taken out by Drogos as well. Hippie popping his ult. This is actually a huge fight here.
The Dragon's Fury managed to find the Torvald there. Here's the Dread Serpent onto the point though. Maldamba trying to keep the guys on Daddies here away from the point. Terminus holding up the front lines by himself. Able to actually do so quite successfully it seems. Just staggering the point as much as he possibly can. Manages to find himself a kill there actually. This is looking good for Malice. And now he's down for the count, but he's utilized his ultimate. And he manages to take out Inara as well. The guys on Squeaker Squad getting all the picks that they need. Finally turning the point back in their favor.
That was absolutely huge plays there, using the ults there nicely. I was going to say, Andro needs to get his ult there, but he actually used it perfectly on the Ruckus. That Ruckus sitting on the high ground was such a pain, but now they've taken control of the point. Daddies here coming back in. Crunchy really needs to focus down on this Drogos here. It's his job to make sure that Drogos isn't doing huge damage. Grok now, his ult actually not being so effective now that Crunchy actually has cauterized 3. As we can see, he takes out the Grok there. He needs to try and move his attention to the Drogos, which is 2 here. Nicely done. And Squeaker Squad actually going to capture this point again.
overtime.
Now 99% overtime here. VP, the last man alive on Daddy's here, just trying to contest the point. Unfortunately, not able to do so. Gets taken out by KrunchyBones, one of the main damage dealers of Squeaker Squad. Now 3-0 to their name. Do Daddy's here have any hope?
This is a difficult game, you know. They don't have the consistent healing from the Grok. They're dealing with Cauterized 3 at the moment, which is really affecting the Grok's ability to heal. And at the moment, the damages from Squeaker Squad, they're just being a lot more effective in how they're playing this game and dishing out a lot more damage. Crunchy almost got caught out there, but that 12-volt shield is insane, helping him stay alive there. And this could actually be a 4-0. We do see Terminus ult back up again. VP using his ult actually takes out the BK there, but gets taken down by Crunchy as well. This is a actual bloodbath going on here. Terminus jumping back in, takes out the Grok. This could really be a 4-0 here, MattSe. Ruckus needs to be careful here. He's getting taken down low. He's going to get taken down by Crunchy. This is absolutely insane. Crunchy topping the damage chart at 70k damage already dealt in 9 minutes. He is doing God's work for this team.
Here comes the King Bomb coming out. Going to be trying to put the final nail in the coffin. Is Hippie there? Secures a kill onto the Grok. Followed by one. No, make that 2 from Malice there. VP actually finally manages to take out Hippie though. Will Daddy's here be able to get the picks they need towards the end of this match? No, they won't. 4-0 towards Squeaker Squad. Game, set, and match. That is game 1 of the night, ladies and gentlemen.
Actually, fantastic game. I'll eat my words. I said Daddy's here had the advantage of VP and Zevenator, but Squeaker Squad actually surprising, and especially both Hippie and KrunchyBones. KrunchyBones doing insane work on that map, going 18-8 and 10, and topping the damage charts overall. So well played to Crunchy.
Absolutely, and well played to Hippie as well. Those two comboing together absolutely fantastically, and hopefully we'll be able to see some more of their gameplay throughout the rest of the night.
Definitely looking forward to it.
Now, with that being the end of the first match of the night, ladies and gentlemen, while we set things up for the next one, we're going to head to a short break.
to the wind. I'll take a chance and let you in. Just take my hand and take me home tonight. We defeat all impossibilities. Yeah, you and me. We'll take our hearts and run free into the wild. Into the wild. Into the wild. Running so fast, can you find me in the dark? Oh baby, close your eyes and listen to the beat of my heart. Take my hand, don't be afraid. A love like ours just can't be tamed. Take my heart, just feel the beat. We'll leave tonight and run free into the wild. Into the wild. Into the wild.
It's all about house music. It's all about love. It's all about house music. It's all about love. It's all about house music. It's all about love. It's all about house music. It's all about love. It's all about house music. House music. House music. House music. It's all about house music. It's all about love. It's all about house music. It's all about love. It's all about house music. It's all about love. It's all about house music. It's all about love. It's all about house music.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are getting things set up for the next match of the night. The teams that we're going to have before us this time around is I Play Hockey, I'm Cool, up against the Genos' mains. Do you have any predictions coming into this one, Lionberg?
Oh, so difficult to make predictions on these community nights, MattSe. Look, Zambi, Karasray, Josh Van, all players I know. Karasray with the big GM border. On the other hand, Xylos, Xanon, Fumi, all players I recognize as well. They even got Bullet there. Honestly, though, I think I'm going to go with the way of I do hockey, I'm cool.
So the blue side this time around.
That's it, the blue side.
Now, the map obviously being Timbermill this time around, I wouldn't put it past any of these teams to potentially go for a Kinessa or a Strix pick on this one, or maybe a champion with a bit more mobility like the Grover that's been banned out just then, or potentially a Maeve.
Yeah, definitely. This map is so dependent on your sniper class heroes. That's like Charlotte and Grover that we just seen getting banned here. Zambi first picking the Makoa there. Not a bad choice. He's really good on this map. If you play him correctly, you can actually hook people down off Sniper's Nest. And then we see the red side here instantly responding with that Strix pick and looking like an Inara. Strix really good for this map. Teams seem to favor him over Kinessa. Sorry. He's got that instant switch pretty much to his sidearm, which does a lot of damage, especially if you're running the legendary that gives it plus 20% damage, and then Maldama picking up here for the blue side.
Now that Maldama pick's going to come in quite strong, I feel. If Makoa is able to hook some people into the Dread Serpent, then potentially could see a lot of picks going the way of the blue side. However, now Joshavan being the last man to pick on this rotation of the draft for the blue side, I feel like he's probably going to take out a damage dealer, but no, he's actually opted to go with the Torvald pick.
Yeah, so interesting they didn't really prioritize any damages that early in the draft, but in saying that, Torvald and Makoa are both very good tanks on this map, and then Meldama with that constant healing, pretty good as well. We probably will see a Genos getting picked up for the red side here. It's pretty much the only viable tank, and there we go. Sonnen picking that up. We could see another damage or a second tank here. Though, to be honest, recently I feel like the double tank meta isn't necessarily like as necessary or as big as it was in previous patches, but we do see Fernando getting picked up there by Bullet.
And interesting to note how the Genos' mains are actually picking up Genos this time around. Hopefully they'll be able to utilize that pick to perfection. Now back on the other side of things, however, Eevee being hovered by Carisray, she started to become a bit more prominent within the regular season, and same with the Buck pick. If those two are picked up by the blue side, I feel like they could find a lot of kill potential.
Yeah, definitely. Rather than trying to go down the sniper route, it looks like they've gone instead for a really heavy flank lineup here. Buck being so strong at the moment with that bonus damage, and Eevee actually being quite viable in the meta as well, especially on this map with the Strix probably going to be sitting up in Sniper's Nest. That allows Eevee, windows to try and make some outplays there, keep the Strix busy, take him out, and that gives such a huge advantage to the blue side.
Now, one pick remaining on the red side. Obviously going to pick up a damage dealer. Drogos being hovered. That pick could actually find a lot of value, considering there isn't much there on the blue side that is able to take him out, really. Maybe the Buck might be able to try his best to deal with him, and maybe the Makoa if he lands a hook, but I feel like that Drogos is going to have basically free reign over the point if he's not dealt with effectively.
Yeah, definitely. No Andro coming out this match at all, or no real heavy hit scan from the blue side. However, though, as you said, the Buck, it will actually be pretty strong at dealing with that Drogos, especially how easy it is to land net shots now. And with that Drogos suffering that nerf of 30% thrust reduction, it should be, quite reasonable to expect the Buck to be able to land some solid shots onto him as well.
Now, with that being the end of the draft, ladies and gentlemen, while we set things up to get you guys straight into game, we're going to head to a short break. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be getting into the second match of the night right away. The teams before us are I Play Hockey, I'm Cool, and the Genos' mains. Who do you think is going to take this one out, Lionberg?
Gotta stick with my prediction of I Do Hockey, I'm Cool. I really like their draft coming into this, actually.
Personally, I like their draft too. I feel like they have a lot of mobility on their side. However, that being said, if they don't shut down the streaks on the Genos main side, then they could find a lot of trouble coming into this one.
5, 4.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's going to be
2,
the job of the Eevee to focus on the streaks, and then the job of the Buck to focus on the Drogos. And they're really two matchups that should be favorable towards I Do Hockey, I'm Cool. But there's always room for outplays, so keen to see what can happen.
Now getting straight towards the point, here's Zerkboy on the Eevee for I Play Hockey, I'm Cool, dealing a little bit of damage towards Fernando's shield so far. Actually gets the first blood towards Fumi. That's going to be a great pick for them, taking the healer right out of the equation straight away. That's definitely going to find some promise for them. But that being said though, actually the Genos mains getting the initial percentage towards the point.
Yeah, definitely. And we've seen there, a big mistake from I Do Hockey, I'm Cool is they left that Strix alone. And just as I say that, the Buck finally leaps up there and takes him out really quickly. Karasei really needs to focus. He needs to pick his target here. The Drogos, all the streaks, and work on that. And they've actually done a really good job here at controlling the point. I Hockey, I'm Cool, getting a couple picks there on the Genos as well.
Ooh, and we saw Karisray there taking a bit of an exchange with Mingovi, helped by Joshaban, finally manages to take that pick out, and now Zerkboy securing another to his name. The guys on the hockey side of things, turning things back around, turning the point back towards their favor, but not for long, as here is Anara contesting the point.
Yeah, they're doing a really good job now. They focused up on the targets they need to. Genos mains did kind of stagger themselves a little bit there. Bullet and I believe it was the Drogos being taken out quite early. They did have time to reassemble, and that's what they should have done. We do see a couple ults being popped out of the Meldamba ult and the Buck ult. Buck going to pick up Genos, and it looks like Zyles is stuck in the backline dealing with that Eevee. Will take him down. But in the meantime, I Do Hockey, I'm Cool are controlling this point, and overtime should tick into their favor.
Stop the
And that it does. The first point going towards the guys on I Play Hockey, I'm Cool. But the point hasn't moved since then though. Both teams getting picks on one another. Hopefully one of the two sides will be able to close out enough picks on the other side in order to push the point back towards their favor. But for the time being, it still looks like I Play Hockey, I'm Cool is going to take this one away.
Yeah, definitely. Just watching this Buck, he is dishing out so much damage right now and actually topping the damage charts quite significantly by almost 10,000 damage. And I Do Hockey, I'm Cool, they're playing this fantastically. They decided not to go down the sniper route, which is, pretty much standard on this map, but instead they knew the Buck is really strong. Eevee's quite viable at the moment. We can ban out the Grover, give them the Strix, and we should be able to deal with it, and that's what they've done. And even now they're managing to, hold back Genos' mains quite heavily here, and Anara's already down to half health.
Now here's Kasai-sama on the side of the hockey players, doing a fair bit of damage to that Fernando. Not able to close that pick out though. There comes the seismic crash from Zonin. Finds a lot of promise, taking out Karisray. That's going to be a great pick for them. However, Eevee is still alive for the hockey players. Will she be able to find a pick that she needs to right now in order to push the point towards its last lengths? Doesn't seem like it's going to happen though, as there's the Dread Serpent coming out, there's the Flashbang, there's the Immortal, all the ultimates being dropped on the point by the Genos' mains. Here's a double kill from Mingovi. Now the point coming to a standstill once again.
Yeah, definitely, some plays coming out from both sides there and picks coming around all around. But I Do Hockey, I'm Cool. They need to really identify, and a great play there from Drogos, actually being able to knock him off the edge with that fire spit. I Do Hockey, I'm Cool. They've got 30 seconds left on the clock. This is really their last time to gather up and make a play as a team and get in there. But Genos mains, they were struggling a little bit at the start now, but they've actually done a good job to try and hold I Do Hockey, I'm Cool back. Drogo's getting a little bit of trouble there. The Genos is quite low as well, but Eevee actually getting taken down by the Strix there. Xylos doing a really good job contesting with this Eevee. Eevee not paying as much attention towards the Strix as I'd like to, and Strix is just left to sort of deal out the damage. Zambi is quite low in the Meltdown. We will get taken down by Xylos here, but we do see the Inara and Fernando down on Genos main, so that means they don't have any tanks to really stop this push, and as a result, we have Xylos coming onto the point. Drogo's actually getting a great pick here. Makoa pops his ult just before he dies. Perfect play there. Xylos on 910 health still. This could actually be a point for I Do Hockey. I'm cool. The Genos and Drogos are down. They need to dish out this damage. Xylos is on one hit. They need to get this sniper out. Inara on point. Fernando's there as well. They're both super low. We see the flash coming out to try and disorient I Do Hockey. I'm cool, but it's not going to work. A good Genos ult there. Don't think it killed anyone though. A couple picks. Genos take one out. Oh, great play there from I Do Hockey on Cool. Actually, great last team fight there. They used their ultimates really well. And they also go into the next round with an Eevee and a Torvald ult.
Now, if you were spectating Joshavan throughout the last exchanges there, he actually found a lot of crucial kills for his team coming out of that one. I feel like that should definitely be respected, as obviously without that tank, then that team wouldn't have been able to find so much success coming out of that one.
15 seconds.
Yeah, definitely. I noticed he is doing a really good job. He actually pushed onto the Strix a few times, getting key hooks onto him and actually baiting the Strix to really waste a flashbang as well, which is really critical. He's doing a great job on the Makoa this map.
Now both teams making their way towards the point once again. Here's a few of the items that both of the teams have bought so far on this screen. Here's Strix, however. His sniper's ready for action, but he's going to be met by Carisray straight away.
Definitely Carisray has understood that's where you need to go. An insane headshot onto Zerkboy there. Just deletes the Eevee off the map. Great play. Eevee does have that Ice Storm available, so once she gets back, she can jump in and do quite a bit of damage. Buck just jumping around crazy, trying to get that Strix, and he does. He actually lives on such little health. Joshavan managing to get a kill himself as well there. Just fighting the Inara on point, their focus point at the moment. And I Do Hockey, I'm cool, actually doing a really good job here. That's 3 picks down. Inara's down. Genos is trying to get back together, try and push on this point. We've got 57-60% for I Do Hockey. I'm cool. Fernando a little bit out of position there. They should try and take him out here. This is going really well for the blue side here, MattSe.
Blue side looking to close this point out once again, get 3 to their name. Met by Zonin though with the Warden Field on the point. Just going to stall it as long as possible in order for his team to get to the point, but it doesn't seem like his team are making their way there as he's finally been taken out. Bullet gets one to his name, however. He's looking pretty even, but there's the Ice Storm from Zerkboy, taking the point more and more in the I Play Hockey on Cool's favor. There's through space and time though. The last minute effort from both sides. Who's going to take this one away?
Actually, a really good play there from the Meldamba and the Eevee. They actually comboed their ults together, so it really staggered Genos' main card. And Buck popping his ult here just to try and burst down this Inara as fast as he can. And Inara's going to get taken out, and this should easily be a point here for I Do Hockey on Pool. And there we go.
The payload.
Now a little bit of a pause coming out there, not sure what the go is there. Now pause once again, maybe some technical difficulties coming out on one of the sides of the playing field. That being said though, let's take a look at some of the stats. If you look at the scoreboard at the moment, we see some of the stats on both sides. The man of the hour being Joshavan, having the most kills to his name across the board.
Yeah, definitely. I'm also paying attention quite heavily to the damage dealt, and Buck is soaring ahead. 72k. The closest person behind him is Makoa on 48k. So he is pushing that damage to the maximum he can, and this is why Buck is so strong, especially on a map like this where he always has somewhere to go and always has somewhere to fight. He's doing an incredible job. Strix up there, 45k damage, probably not as much as you'd hope for, but it is only 8 minutes in the game, and he is getting bullied out pretty hard. So I think really still a formidable effort from Xylos there.
And if you take a look at some of the damage shielded at the moment, Fernando leading the charts there. That is the man Bullet. He's known for his Fernando play, so unsurprising to see him at the top there. However, he's followed quite closely by the Torvald, and then Makoa and Inara just falling behind there.
Yeah, if we also actually pay attention to healing, we do see Zambi going quite ahead, 13k. But to be honest, like I would expect that realistically from a Maldamba, and Zambi really on his comfort pick. At the moment, this is what he does play professionally as well. So no real big surprises there, but also special shout out to Fumaya. He's keeping up as well. 13k behind isn't a great deal, especially when you're versing someone who's on a comfort pick like Zambi.
Now, if you take a look at some of the items coming out across the board from both sides, do you want to explain into why some of the items may have been picked up by some of the players here?
Yeah, sure. On IG Hockey, I'm cool. We're seeing a heavy cauterized stack, which is fine. It's quite kind of what they needed. I would have liked to see maybe Joshovan pick up a master riding here on the Makoa. That allows him to get into the fight super early, and with that, he can also do a bit of a Makoa flank, which is quite strong. As the Karasray has got the level 2 master riding, so he's pretty much aiming to do that. On the side of Genos mains, we do see a couple Court 2s, as well as some Wreckers. They got to deal with that Torvald shield. I probably would have preferred to see a Cauterize on the Drogos, and maybe Wrecker picked up on someone else, maybe even Anara. Drogo's Fire Spit and his splash damage overall is actually so effective at applying Cauterize to the enemy team. But saying that, Wrecker is still quite a good pick there. Nimble trying to give himself some extra move speed, some extra flight speed. Realistically, overall, quite standard Chronos 2 on both supports as well.
And as you said, if Makoa did have the master riding, I feel like he would be able to provide a lot more presence towards the point for his team. However, they still are finding a lot of success towards the point, despite not having that master riding on the Makoa. Buck actually having that one. Interesting to see that one there, but I feel like Xylos's pickup, buying into all 5 items there is a bit unique. Maybe he might have had auto buy still selected, so that's why he's picked up one of each tab there. Just really interesting to see how he's done that. Yeah,
not too sure. I mean, he might be trying to also, get that little bit more move speed and tankiness to try and survive a Eevee or a Buck that jumps on top of him. But realistically, they're not going to help too much. Life Rip does give him a little bit of healing as well, but probably, would have preferred to see another point in Wrecker, maybe, or he could have even gone Cauterize.
Now, if we take a look at some of the legendary cards, let's see what we have here. We see the Spirits Chosen actually coming out on the Maldamba. Going to be able to provide a lot more healing from the Mending Spirits onto Zambi. Obviously, that's a key legendary coming out for him on that Maldamba healer. And we've seen a lot of that come out from him during the regular season with his actual team Masterminds.
Yeah, definitely. It's probably, the stock standard Maldamba legendary to pick up at the moment. The extra 300 healing is really good, especially, we're seeing Cauterize lacking a little bit on Genos main team. We actually have the game unpaused.
Now getting straight back into the action, following Zambi at the moment, trying to output damage towards the Drogos. Not going to be able to do that. Here goes the Gord, though, going to keep Zerkboy and Karisray topped up while they maintain the front lines, dealing all the damage that they need to for their team. Here's another Gord coming out to Joshovan. Zambi just doing all the work on the healer so far. Actually gets a couple of ticks of damage out towards Xylos there.
Enemy killing spree.
Yeah, actually really good plays there. Xylos actually getting another pick onto Zambi. Joshovan replying with a kill onto Bullet of his own. And they're going to try and push his advantage. Two key players down and a nice hook onto Xylos. Xylos is going to get taken out by Makoa. Makoa is doing an excellent job. He needs to hide here and regen. Drogo's up the top a bit low. They need to try and look for another pick. And Nara on the point, very low herself. Should be going down quite soon. Zambi gonna take her out. This is going crazy here. IG Hockey, I'm cool. They're playing really well. Nice shell spin to try and get onto Xylos. He needs to look for that hook though. That's Stealth Bar Legendary playing out really well for Xylos in most cases, but a nice hook onto the Invis Strict. Another kill there for Makoa, and he's staggering this team super hard.
And I was following Drogos for a little bit of time there, trying to do what he can to stall out the members of I Play Hockey, I'm Cool. Not able to do so effectively though. Karisray finally manages to take him out there. Now all the members of the Genos' mains being out of the equation. staggered to all hell. There's 52 seconds remaining, and I Play Hockey are pushing the point closer and closer towards the end. This could be their game, and that it is, Lionberg.
Insane play from I Do Hockey, I'm Cool. Another 4-0. And I tell you what, MattSe, these hockey players must be cleaners because they just took out the trash.
Yeah, they did. They took them straight to the dumpster for owing them. Now, if we take a look at things later on in the night, we could see the team that we saw win last time and this one come up against one another, but obviously the nature of the Swiss bracket is that the matches are randomized, so hopefully we do find some of the more prominent teams coming up against one another later on in the night. But now, let's take a look at the stats.
Yeah, definitely. These stats are quite impressive here. Karasari actually managing to finish the match on 86k damage, topping out there ahead of everyone by quite significant, though solid damage from Joshman, 62k, sorry, is quite impressive. Zambi, 41k on the Maldamba, which is pretty amazing to say. I think the Gord bug did get fixed, so not sure if that's playing too much into there. 78k healing, quite ahead of the Genos. Pretty much what you would expect for a Maldamba, though. But yeah, over the board, I'd say pretty decent. 55k from Xylos on the Strix. Not bad considering, you know, he had that pesky Eevee and Buck and even in a lot of cases McCall to deal with the whole game. So being able to push out 55k damage for his team, that's actually, you know, quite well done.
The hockey players certainly kept the pressure on throughout that match, and that paid off for them absolutely fantastically. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be bringing us to the end of the second match of the night. So while we set things up for the next one, we're going to head to a short break. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be getting straight into the draft here. Now, the teams we have before us this time around are the Genos mains once again and youtube.com/Cesaro. Let's see what they do in this draft here, Lionberg.
Yeah, so we already have the Torvald being banned out from the blue side there. You know, not too surprising on this map. So many ult opportunities for him and quite a good tank overall. Makoa being banned out from red side, another solid ban. And Xylos here, I think he's teasing us with a potential Sky pick.
Well, Xylos has played a bit of Sky in comp, actually hovering over the Xin pick there. Now back to the Sky. Is he going to lock this one in? That'd be an absolutely phenomenal thing to see coming into this game, considering we don't see much Sky play at all. And there it is, locked in and loaded for the blue side. How are the red guys going to respond?
Well, you know, I feel like Xylos' Sky is probably just as overrated as Kanga. So we're going to have to see what he can bring out here in this match. Red side, they're probably a little bit flustered with what to do right now. You know, they're seeing that Sky pick, they're going, oh my god, is this a pocket pick? What's the strategy here? I feel like Xylos is probably just messing around. But we'll see. Red team taking their time here to come up with an answer.
I feel like we could see Shanzo Lanada coming out on the Charlene this time around. However, the red side hovering double tank at the moment, locking in the Terminus and the Inara. I feel like comboing that Seismic Crash with the Reanimate on the Terminus could actually find a lot of fruition coming out on the red side, considering that the Seismic Crash can stun the enemies and lock them in place just long enough for Terminus' ultimate to deal the 4,000 damage to the affected enemies. So I feel like the red side do have some strategies in mind for that one.
Yeah, definitely two strong tanks. You know, we already have Torvald and Makoa banned, so it's not a bad idea to try and get the two next best tanks, I feel, straight off the bat there. And that leaves the blue side in a bit of a sticky situation. They're probably going to have to play Fernando. But hovering the Charlene and the Genos here at the moment, which is quite good picks. Bullet taking that one away from Elizabeth. We do know Elizabeth is quite the Genos player. Unfortunately, now comfort being taken away from her, so maybe flex onto the Maldamba. We'll have to see what happens.
Now back over to the red side of things. Endless hovering over the Bomb King, and actually the Buck being hovered there as well. Buck has found a lot of good play coming out, as we saw in the last match, and Bomb King found a lot of good play in the first one we saw tonight. So now both of them being locked in and loaded on the red side of things. The red guys having a lot of mobility under their belts. I feel like maybe they might have this draft in their favor.
Look at this. Zonin hovering the Maldamba as well. I feel like a bit of a meme draft here. Though, I guess red team, you know, what are they going to do? They're going to play with a Ying, a Ceres, maybe even Grok, though, you know, Grok's healing a bit limited, but the CC immunity totem is pretty cool. But yeah, looks like the hovering the Ceres here. Pretty much, you know, if the Maldamba and Genos is gone, which isn't too rare, then we're probably going to see the Ceres picked up.
Interesting to see the Ceres pick. She hasn't found really any play coming out during the regular season. We only saw her come out at once during last week's matches. However, now coming out during the OCE Paladins CTN, let's see what she can do.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like the reason we don't see a lot of Ceres is because, you know, Maldamba and Genos are just such strong healers. You know, teams will either have the Maldamba or the Genos, and that's why we're not really seeing Ceres. But in this case, the blue team has gone for both Maldamba and Genos, quite unconventional. And of course, that's left red team with the Ceres to pick up.
Now, with the draft being finalized, ladies and gentlemen, while we get you into game, we're going to head to a short break. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be getting straight into the third match of the night. The teams we have before us are the Genos' mains once again, and now Zazalo's boys coming at us on the red side of things. Who do you think is going to take this one away, Lionberg?
Look, I don't know. Xylos could do some amazing things for us here tonight. Like, not often we see Sky, and, you know, Xylos probably is, you know, the Sky one trick of the community.
5, 4,
you know,
3,
Jealous' main
2,
draft is
1. The battle has
different.
begun.
But Zalo, you know, having a pretty solid draft. They do have the Buck, and Buck's pretty solid win condition on this map.
Ooh, and Marcus M found a nice bit of damage towards the Inara, but fortunately for her, putting up a great impasse to block off that damage from Marcus M's planted, Now Marcus M being met by the Buck, gets a nice void grip out from his teammate, securing the first blood for them on Xylos.
Xylos picking up the Buck there, an amazing kill. I'm actually going to spectate him here. The Bomb King super low jumps to his right, but Xylos, he's about as blind as 4 April. He doesn't even see it coming. What is this? He's into trouble now. The Terminus jumping on top of him. Bullet taking out Inara. The Terminus getting that kill onto Xylos. Gunzo Lenata on the Buck, picking up another kill on Charlene. Maldamba responding with the kill on Buck. This is a bloodbath. We have 51%, 54%, and climbing on the team of Zalo. They're pushing them back. Genesis mains are getting pushed back. They need to regroup to come in here. No ults just up yet. The Maldamba's actually getting really close, and that could be a big win condition for this point. BK has his ult now 90% on Savalo. They need to take this fight. BK needs to look for a solid ult here. Zolas in the background. He's taking a lot of damage. Zolas getting picked up, taken out as well as the buck. Bullet getting a kill onto the Terminus. This is going pretty well for Genos mains, but this BK is in the background being pesky, but he does get taken out by Maldamba. Just leaves Anal's here on the point, just get taken out by Bullet as well. This is insane. This is going both ways, MattSe. This is a crazy fight.
Genos mains finally managing to claw things back in their favor. Unfortunately for the Bomb King on the side of Cesaro, not able to pick up Marcus M there, being able to utilize that He-Haze and be stealth. Just managed to slip right past that Bomb King there, slipping away on, I believe, 20 health, now doing a lot of damage for his team with that ultimate. Now they've secured themselves the first point of the match. Do you think that Cesaro will be able to put up a strong defense?
Definitely, they did have a really strong fight on that point early, unfortunately going down. Xylas taking out the buck there, which is huge. He's doing an insane amount of damage. He's melting this buck. He's melting these heroes, but as soon as he gets caught out, it's game over for Xylos. And a nice 3-piece there from Zalo, defending that and trying to chase down the Meldamba. If they can get this kill, that's a good stagger. Connex using his Poppy Bomb there to try and get that one.
My domain.
And now I'm spectating Spenzalo on Cesaro now, trying to do what he can for his team. Unfortunately, gets picked up either through space and time. They're going to take a lot of damage, not able to be killed out there though, so that's going to be good for the guys on Cesaro. They've established themselves quite a nice hold towards the point here, not allowing the Genos mains anything towards this point. However, the Genos mains starting to inch their way forward, starting to get a pick that they need. There goes Spenzalo. Now they could tick the point in their favor once again.
Yeah, Bullet actually trying to flank around there, but not going to be too successful. They did get that kill onto the Terminus. He decided not to pop his ult there and to wait. We do have the Shaolin popping his ult there, doing some huge damage onto the BK and the Buck. Buck is not having a fun time in this game. He's getting melted by Zolas, and he's getting hit as well by the Shaolin. It's not a good time for him, and that's a nice ult there from this guy picking up the BK.
Marcus M, very known for his Shaolin gameplay within his Team Conspiracy esports, actually making their way towards the finals in the PGS. And now here comes the Buck Wild from Buck. Hopefully he'll be able to find a bit more presence in this one. Focusing on Marcus M there, takes him down to such low health. However, the teammates of Marcus going to close that one out there. Shan's like in a bit too deep, going to be taken right out of the equation. There's Endless though with a pick of his own. Here's another one from Marcus. Now the guys on the Genos main having the man advantage. Hopefully they'll be able to push this to the end.
Yeah, a great fight there. Bullet using his Immortal really effectively, countering out that Bomb King ultimate. We do see the Terminus and the Ceres get taken out there, and Genos mains, they're looking good. They've got 5 seconds left on the clock, but they're really doing well here. Actually, as I say that, the Genos gets taken down. Meldamba responds onto a kill onto the BK. Anil Zianara taking out the Meldamba, and Marcus M sitting at the back gets a kill onto the Buck. That's Zianara taken down. This could very well be a capture here for Genos mains. Spenzalo, the Terminus, does have his ultimate to try and stagger this back as much as he can. We do have respawns here from Cesaro. They need to capture this. They need to win this fight. Spenzalo about to go down. Is he going to... He pops it. He pops the ult there. And that's going to... It doesn't actually hit anyone. I thought that was definitely in range to do damage to the Meldamba there, but it actually doesn't. But in saying that, they actually do get a couple picks anyway and push them back, and Cesaro defends that successfully.
It's actually surprised me that Cesaro actually finally able to claw their way back into that one. Now, coming into this next push, however, things not looking so much in their favor. 3 ultimates opposing them on the side of the Genos mains. However, they do have the Convergence on the Ceres, so that could find a lot of potential for picks in this one. I feel like if they combine that Convergence with the Terminus ult,
in 15
or maybe
seconds.
even the King Bomb from the Bomb King, then they're going to be able to find a lot of picks coming into this point.
Yeah, definitely.
5.
I really want to see this go as close as it can, but as we said, the ultimate here from Genos Mains definitely being an advantage. But Zalo does have another 2 which are really close. Maybe they can get a really good setup here from the Ceres. So I might watch the Ceres to see what she can do here. But my game has broken a little bit. There we go. We're back in the action, but just getting bullied so hard by Xylos here. Xylos doing an excellent job this map. I guess in the intermission, he must have hit up Mitchell and gone to that same website to get some extra skill.
Extraskill.net might be the one in question. However, Marcus M actually finding a lot of the picks that he needs to in this match so far. Here we go again, getting another pick with his planted. Marcus just doing so much work for the Genos mains in this one. And hopefully he'll be able to find another pick to his name on this Ceres here.
Yeah, definitely doing an excellent job. Xylos and Marcus are really delivering the damage for this team. And if we actually have a look at the damage charts, we actually see Marcus shooting ahead at 90,000 damage, followed behind the BK at just under 60. So 30k damage ahead. Marcus is doing an excellent job.
Now, Seismic Crash coming out there. Not going to be able to pick anyone up with that one, however. Unfortunately, losing all the value. Here's Bomb King, though. Connex almost manages to get the pick up onto Xylos. Endless finishing that one off there. Oh, unfortunately for Connex, going to be picked up by the Impaler Arrow of Marcus. Now, Genos Mains looking to turn things around once again. There's the Void Grip picking up Senzalo, I believe. Fortunately manages to make his way back. There's the true space and time. Here's the time bomb. Ultimate's coming out on both sides, left, right, and center. Now Xylos getting 2 to his name.
Excellent there work from Xylos to take out both tanks, and that's exactly what they need in this composition to push through. Elizabeth on the Ceres gets picked up at the back, and the BK as well on one hit gets taken down. And that's pretty much a whole team wipe for Genos Mains. They're doing an excellent job. If they can keep this up, this should be a conversion for them.
Now the guys on Genos' mains proving that Sky can be a viable pick. I'm sure that Xylos is smiling for the time being, but they can't get too complacent as there still is a couple more points for them to capture in this one. Here comes the Grumpy Bomb from the Bomb King on Cesaro. And here comes the Convergence. Oh, is it going to pick anyone up? No, not really finding
unfortunate
any fruit there. But here's Marcus getting not one, but 2 picks to his name. Could it be a third? Oh, Bullet finally picking that one up. Unfortunate for Marcus. His Terminus trying to contest the point as much as he possibly can. Not going to be able to do so successfully, however. Here's the ultimate third Lionberg.
Yeah, actually manages to pick up the Maldama there. The Genos super low in the back. Buck is going to jump on him to get a kill. Spencer is really low here. He needs to be careful. Xylos caught over on the left side. Buck does jump on him and finish that kill, but does get taken down by the tick. And it just leaves Marcus M at the back, trying to stay alive. He needs to either get out or die here to reset with his team.
15 seconds
now,
remaining.
15 seconds remaining. As the announcer said there, Genos' mains need to group back up, need to make a more deathball-y comp. However, with Marcus being taken out of the equation there, and now Zone, and it's looking like this is going to be another defense for the boys on Cesaro. And with that being said, Bullet, the last man alive on the point. Should he contest? Should he back out? I feel like the guys on Genos' main should back out now. Overtime ticking down, finally. Now tying things up 2 apiece is Cesaro.
I'm going to say, at the end of both those rounds, Cesaro has come in really clutch at the end and managed to get those defense points. And now, going into the next round, also quite even, actually. We do have the Immortal and the Through Time Space on Genos mains available, and also the Sky ult very, very close. Might even be available by the time she gets to point. Then we do have Buck and Inara both with their ults. Actually, pretty big ults. So this point fight could be interesting, MattSe.
I feel like the utilization of the Seismic Crash with the Buck Wild could prove to be very fruitful for the guys on Cesaro. That being said, though, we're getting back into the point capture once again. Taking a quick look at the items, we actually see Illuminate being picked up by Endless there.
Counter out that Charlene, who's been doing so much damage to him. Charlene is actually running Desert Shadow as well, so he does get that extra 2 seconds of invisibility. So not a bad pickup, and wow, a huge Genos ult there. Buck actually leaps into it and gets taken out, and Genos returns as well with a kill onto the BK, who overextended quite a bit. We do see the Sky ult getting thrown out, but actually doesn't kill anyone, I believe. But wow, General's mates again pretty much wiping Cesaro off the point. Buck needs to be careful here, he's quite low, and Marcus M pops that ult to ensure he's safe and to also try and flank onto this Buck, which he's doing a pretty good job of, but he's actually kind of caught out here. Buck jumps onto him, he manages to get back, Bullet comes in to protect the team there, 90% on the point. Svensalo jumping in onto the point, we have the BK ultimate, he's stuck in a corner though, the BK ultimate doesn't do anything. That's a big Rice moment there. Now, General Spain's getting pushed off the point actually. That's Bullet being taken down. Xylos getting a kill onto the Inara. Buck needs to be super careful here. He needs to know he can't jump in on that. He needs that resilience if he wants to do that. He does have resilience too, but mate, he needs some more. Xylos here, half HP. He's trying to look for that surprise attack onto the point. Oh my god, the BK gets taken out. Marcus M getting a double kill onto both the Ceres and the BK. Zona turning around, getting a kill onto that Terminus tank, which is absolutely huge for them. And so low here. This is a bloodbath, MattSe. This is just not stopping. But it looks like this should go to the way of General Smains as they take out the Buck. And it's just Cesaro now trying to get back to point. Connex jumps down. Probably not a good decision. Bullet almost gets thrown off the edge. Almost gets thrown off the edge, but manages to survive. Pretty lucky for him. Xylos is caught out. Way too aggressive there. We got the tanks fighting down a ledge. What are they doing? Get with your team. I feel like Bullet's probably going to win this fight though. Annals gets the kill onto Charlene. And this is going crazy, MattSe. I love this match.
If the trend that's been set so far continues in this match, we could see Genos main continuing this one around the bend, but not able to secure the final point, and they might be able to secure it coming into the next capture. However, if they find their footing and push it all the way to the end in this one, with 4 ultimates to their name, it is possible, now being 3, with that time bomb being committed there. Hopefully they'll be able to secure this game.
Yeah, definitely. We have Elizabeth at the back, low health. She's trying everything she can. Heal out these teammates, make sure they're healthy for the fight. But she's battling with 3 cauterizers on the side of Cesaro, so on the side of General Spain, sorry. So pretty difficult there. We actually see 2 picks coming up for General Spain. Svensalo does have his ult. He doesn't look like he's going to pop it, and that's a wipe for General Spain, and they might actually be able to push this one in.
Absolutely fantastic. Dread Serpent coming out there from zone and actually manages to save Marcus M's life. If that Dread Serpent didn't come out at the time it did, then Marcus would have certainly been picked up by the Buck there, but unfortunately for the guys on Cesaro, the Genos' mains just proving to be too strong for them, managing to secure the game and the match 4-2.
Absolutely huge. Look at this Charlene's damage, 166k. Marcus M did absolute God's work that game. Xylos as well coming in 109k, and special shout out to Connex, 105k, Shanzo Nada 73k. You know, probably could have dealt out a bit more damage, but he did have so much CC to deal with. He had, you know, Meldamba, he had the Genos. Didn't actually check, but I'm sure he probably went the Cripple Legendary. And then we also had Marcus M, who, you know, with that stun arrow. So really well played to Genos there.
Great play coming out from both teams across the board. Each of the players obviously had their individual moments. But that being said, that's going to be bringing us to the end of that game there. 4-2 in the favor of the Genos' mains. Thankfully, able to pick things up from their second round loss. Great play coming out from them. But now, with that being said, we're going to head to a short break. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Now, the match that we're going to have before us in just a moment is going to be I Play Hockey, I'm Cool up against Scarlet Guard this time around. We've seen I Play Hockey, I'm Cool before. They definitely had quite the showing in the round that we watched their game. Obviously, that being the second round. But now, seeing Scarlet Guard for the first time on stream, what are your predictions coming into this one, Lionberg?
Well, we did see I Play Hockey, I'm Cool with that quick 4-0 over Genos Mains, so quite a convincing series there. But we actually, as you said, haven't seen Scarlet Guard on stream yet, so could be interesting. Can Scarlet Guard shake it up? You know, I Play Hockey, I'm Cool. Maybe looking like one of the stronger teams, and I think we did just get kicked out of the draft, so we might have to wait for a lobby remake.
In the meantime, while we do wait for a lobby remake, coming onto the map that is Brightmarsh, what do you feel like some of the champions that could be picked could be?
Interesting question. I'm not too well versed in the current meta, but judging off the past, I think we should see kind of standard meta for this patch. You know, Torvald's good here. Anara is really good on this map as the point is quite enclosed. So her Warden's Field can have quite a big impact on that point. And also the way the map is kind of laid out, the walls are actually really effective there as well. Ruckus is quite good on this map, but you know, he does have that nerf in his jump. So it's a little bit more difficult for him to get up onto high ground, but he still definitely can do it. And then, you know, I think as terms for pocket picks, you know, there's always things like Talus, Zin that's always available, maybe even an Eevee. But I feel like it's probably going to end up being your standard two-tank sort of composition from both teams.
I feel like we could see, as you said, a bit of Eevee gameplay, but also that Buck. We have seen him picked a fair bit tonight as well. But that being said, though, I feel like Androxus could come out as well. And potentially a Drogos, something like that, or maybe even something a bit out of the ordinary, maybe a Willow.
Yeah, always potential for Willow. She did have a little bit of a nerf, but always able to provide quite consistent damage, especially really on this map. She can get to some high ground easily. You know, her Seedling does quite solid damage, to say the least, and then she also has her big right click, which, you know, cauterizes basically 90% straight off the bat. So if we are seeing a double tank comp that sort of sits on the point hard coming out from one team, it could be viable for the other team to look at picking up Willow.
Now, on the side of Scarlet Guard, obviously with the double pick to their name, going to lock in that Bomb King and Inara as their first two. That's a pretty solid lineup coming out from them so far. The obvious first pick on the blue side, though, going to be that Makoa. He's been finding such strength in the meta lately, so unsurprising to see him being picked up first by the hockey players.
Yeah, definitely. Andro can do quite a lot on this map, though. Looks like hovering over the Grok, actually. But BK and Ara, two really good picks. BK is really strong on this map as well. You know, he can kind of sit back and just lob bombs. The Grumpy's on point, especially now with the legendary update that I believe the Demolition card also blows up the Grumpy 30% faster, as well as killing all shields. So quite strong, actually, especially, you know, once again coming back to those closed off points on this map. And Atari 2600 hovering the Talus here.
I'm not sure if Talus is going to be able to find as much strength as he would on other maps, because I feel like the map that he's most finds the most strength on has got to be the Ice Mines. Being able to utilize that ultimate to get behind the enemy team and just dehorse them as they make their way towards the point. And considering the distance, I feel like you'd find a lot more strength on that map. That being said, though, the Fernando is going to be locked in by him.
Yeah, so Fernando, we haven't really been seeing him much in pro play, but I mean, he's still quite a good pick for this map. You know, and I guess, you know, this is CTN. People are probably looking at comfort picks or, you know, other things to try, like we just did C Sky. So, you know, not too surprising to have some off picks here and there. And Zambi actually gonna pick up the Ruckus.
Now the last pick on Scarlet Guard gonna be LCS Gaming. He's looking forged in battle, as his title says there. Just waiting to make his mind up. I feel like he's going to pick up a damage dealer here. However, he could surprise us with maybe a healer, maybe an off-meta pick like a Pip doubling up as a tank, or, I mean, not a tank, a damage dealer, or maybe a Grover. But that being said, he's going to hover over the flanker. That is Maeve. I feel like she could definitely find a lot of value on this map.
Yeah, definitely. She needs to be very careful of that Makoa, though, but her cleanse does stop that hook from pulling her in. But, you know, Makoa can really dish out the damage to Maeve quite quickly, and I'd say, you know, that's probably going to be Makoa's priority target this whole game, is probably going to be that Maeve.
Now, with the draft being finalized on both sides, the picks being locked in, that's going to be bringing us to the end of the draft. And so while we set things up to get you guys into game to see all of this CT in action, we're going to head to a short break. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are once again bringing you the fourth match of the night. The teams before us, a familiar face being the hockey players, and now a new face being the members of the Scarlet Guard. Who's going to come out on top here, Lionberg?
Interesting match to come up. We were just talking in the break there and saying, you know, we have Zambi on I Play Hockey on Pool, and we have Lizlac on Scarlet Guard. So this is teammate versus teammate situation. Both probably want to take each other out. We've got some cool drafts on both sides. But yeah, Scarlet Guard, they do have a pretty good lineup. We've got, Lizak, Atari, King Boo, LCS, all names I'm sure people recognize. But then, on the flip side, on hockey, we have Joshuvan, Paris Ray, Zambi, all players we recognize as well. And I Play Hockey, I'm Cool definitely did show to their merit tonight. They are a solid team.
Now, interesting to see Joshuvan actually on the Drogos this time around. He did find a lot of picks on that Makoa pick last time we saw him, but now opting to play the Drogos instead. Hopefully he'll be able to find similar success coming out on this one. Now both teams meeting each other towards the point.
Yeah, definitely a bit of a fight going on here. Lizlak will get taken down. Makoa is super low. LCS needs to be careful here. He gets hooked and he gets taken down so quickly into the match. That must have been a play coming out of the Soch GG playbook there, MattSe. Not good at all. Now we have I Play Hockey coming onto the point, getting to their percentage up. There's 63% onto the side of Scarlet Guard. I Play Hockey, I'm Cool. They're running around. They're trying to stagger here. Scarlet Guard, they're trying to get reinforcements at that point. They need to play together as a team. Atari 2600 really needs to get onto that point with LCS there. LCS falling low again, but he does have the healing there from the Generals. Shadow Walker, our BK, getting a very pivotal pick onto the Makoa there. Grok returning with a kill onto Anara, and Shadow Walker again, a double kill onto Zerkboy. The Grok LCS getting a pick of his own onto Karasray, and that is going to be the point for Scarlet Guard, MattSe.
Scarlet Guard actually taking that point away really surprised me. The hockey players were finding a lot of the picks that they needed to there. Joshuvan and his teammates holding a lot of pressure towards the point, but Shadow Walker getting all the picks he needs to, and another one actually coming out there. Make that two, the healer and the DPS going down. Shadow Walker, the bomb king, can he be stopped?
Shadow Walker is doing excellent here. He's getting picks onto the targets he needs to, and he's just dishing out damage non-stop. He does get taken out there, unfortunately, by Lizlak, but that guy is doing an awesome job. Triple kill actually coming out from Karasray onto the Ruckus there. He gets a quadra kill. That's definitely potential for play of the game there. Karasray doing an awesome job onto Ruckus.
Karasray's Ruckus play proving to be phenomenal so far. Now, obviously, the hockey players bring the point to a standstill with 1 minute and 27 seconds remaining on the point, though. There's still a lot of time for the guys on Scarlet Guard to do some work. And that being said, there's 3 picks to their name. King Boo and Shadow Walker securing multiple of them. And now here comes the rest. The rest of the hockey players being wiped out one by one like dominoes. Now the guys on Scarlet Guard
insane.
Forward once again.
That Gen Assault was amazing. It got 3 targets low and allowed Bomb King to jump in. This Shadow Walker guy, I'm gonna be rude, but who is he? He's doing awesome. Have we checked into this? Do we know this isn't Mexican Gardener, boys? But he does get taken a little bit low there. He needs to back up. Lizlak low as well. That Drogos with that fire spit is dishing out some insane damage. Atari by himself at the front. There we go. We have the Midnight from Lizlak, but he's one hit. He needs to get out. LCS got to get taken down. We have the Meldama ult being dropped from Zambi, allowing his team to get a 3-piece onto Scarlet Guard. Now Scarlet Guard are being forced to back off. They got 30 seconds left on the clock.
Joshuvan actually surprised me there, actually managing to find a pick with the Dragon Punch. Despite being blinded by Maeve's Midnight, I feel that was quite impressive coming out from him. Able to maneuver his way around to secure that pick onto the Bomb King. Now with 10 seconds remaining in this one, if the Scarlet Guard players make their way forward now, they might be able to do something with this point. That being said though, Lizlak's been taken out. There's Shadow Walker as well. They need to back out now. This is not looking good for them.
This is not looking good for Scarlet Guard. Shadow Walker, their carry BK, gets taken down in that process, and Lizlak just jumps in and gets melted. Karasray is doing an awesome job here. He does take out King Boo. Now his attention is onto Atari 2600, but Lizlak comes in. Lizlak says none of that. He takes out the Ruckus ASAP. Lizlak falling to a magnificent salvo there coming out from the Drogos, and that's going to be it. A 3-piece from I Play Hockey, I'm Cool, and they defend the point.
Now, if we take a look at some of the damage dealt so far, actually Joshuvan leading the charts, doing amazing work on that Drogos so far, followed pretty closely by Karasray, and then coming out in 3rd place, unsurprisingly, going to be Shadow Walker.
Yeah, definitely. That Drogos Fire Spit salvo combo is just melting Scarlet Guard. and there's not much they can really do about it. They need to try and bait it out or, you know, split up on the point. But as you see at the end there, you know, Scarlet Guard, they've got really a stack-heavy comp, I guess, with the Inara and Fernando. Maybe the Fernando needs to, you know, try and go off and do a little bit of flanking, try and get some damage around the sides. But if they're going to continue to keep stacking, that Salvo Fire Spit is just going to destroy them.
Now both teams making their way towards the point once again. Here's Zerkboy on the drop, taking charge for his team. Oh, he uses the Ghost Walk just in time, not to be picked up by the Grumpy Bomb there. That's going to be good for his team. Now the first pick coming out from the hockey players. Here it comes, in the Tempest from Grok. Carisray securing another one to his name. Luzlak getting a nice return kill there though. Here's another one coming out from Kasai-sama, taking out Inara. The hockey players taking the point in their favor.
Killing spree.
Actual great play from the hockey there. They pretty much get a team wipe. Now Scarlet Guard being forced to push back. Kasai-sama on this Makoa. He needs to do some work. He's bottoming the damage charts right now. He looks like Mr. Flexi on land. He needs to get in there. He needs to do some damage. He is going to get picked out. Oh, he managed to get away with that shell spin and the healing totem from the drop, getting him back to full health. But we have the LCS on the Fernando running straight back onto the point. Shadow Walker takes out Joshua. We've got 3 down for Scarlet Guard, and this is going to be a point for I Play Hockey. I'm cool.
That Dread Serpent came in pivotal there, obviously picking up Shadow Walker, taking the main damage dealer on Scarlet Guard out of the equation. In turn allowed the guys on I Play Hockey I'm Cool to pick up the point. And well, a nice Dread Tanker coming out from Kasai-sama there, picked up the Mave, not actually able to deal the damage he needed to there though. Going to be taken out by the members on Scarlet Guard, just collapsing onto him like a pincer maneuver. That being said though, picks are coming out from both teams, left, right and center, Lionberg.
Yeah, definitely. Luzlak just getting taken out by Joshua. Joshua is doing absolutely fantastic this game. He's getting the kills, he's getting the damage spread out with that Salvo Fire Spit we've been talking about, and Zerkboy as well, doing a really good job supporting this Ruckus actually. He's got some really good totems coming out. Karis Ray probably needs to look for a solid ult here. We've got a Genos pretty low in the back. We've got 3 characters really low. If Karis Ray could somehow advance over the top and get a good ult, it's going to help them. But as I say that, Scarlet Guard do come and get a 3-piece, a 4-piece. That's pretty much a wipe onto I Play Hockey. I'm cool.
That's exactly what the guys on Scarlet Guard needed there. Now we see them making an advance forward so then they can stall the guys on I Play Hockey I'm Cool just a bit further away from the point, at least giving them a bit more flexibility towards this one. Now with a minute and 8 seconds remaining, the guys on Hockey do still have a few opportunities available to them, but really great that Scarlet Guard were able to delay them. And ooh, look at that hook, Lionberg.
That was a great hook from Kasai-sama there. He must have heard what I said. He's focusing up now. Karis Ray getting quite low. They need to deal with this BK. They can't sit in this room and while the BK is up, just lobbing bomb after bomb after bomb. They are getting so low in there and they have to use all their abilities. Lizlak actually getting low. They're getting chased by Karis Ray. We do have 4 ults up for I Play Hockey on Cool. And the card is quite close. We have the Maldamba ult being dropped there. That allows Zerkboy to get a kill onto the BK. But that's Karis Ray also falling to Lizlak. LCS is quite low in the back there. If they can get him down, they can potentially look for another couple ults to try and push this in. The card has moved slightly. Kasai-sama does have his ults at 95%. He's probably going to fall here. We do have the Dragon Punch, the Ruckus ult, and the Grok ult available. But it looks like none of them going to be used. And I Play on Hockey I'm Cool, potentially going to give this one up.
2.
Yeah, it looks like they might be giving this one up. That being said, though, they're actually going to contest the point there. Carisray gets a nice kill onto Shadow Walker. That's the one they need. Now, ooh, locked in to take out the Inara. There's 2 to his name. They can do this, Lionberg.
A double kill straight out from Karis Ray as soon as I said that. 8 my own words. They're pushing up now. They've got 4 ults available. 2 down for Scarlet Guard. That's 3 down for Scarlet Guard. Only the Grok down on I Play on Hockey I'm Cool. We've got Inara dropping out her ult. Karis Ray finally drops his ult but gets walled off. But he still gets Lizlak. Atari 2600 is so low. Joshua is here. He's going to do damage. He looks for the Dragon Punch. He's going to aim. But LCS dropping that ult at such a pivotal time. Blocks the Dragon Punch from doing any damage. And now Scarlet Guard are bringing this back with the 3-piece. I Play Hockey I'm Cool. They're struggling. And thankfully they didn't use all of their ults because Scarlet Guard managed to defend that one.
That Immortal definitely saved the guys on Scarlet Guard there. If LCS hadn't used that when he did, I feel like they would have lost that point indefinitely. However, that Immortal from the Fernando coming in quite clutch there.
Yeah, definitely good ult usage there from LCS. Looking into this next round, Scarlet Guard only have one ultimate going onto the point, which is a Mave ultimate, so not too pivotal for their team. You know, it does end pretty quick, and if you can kill that Mave during it, it will end. But on the side of I Play I'm Hockey I'm Cool, we have the Makoa ult, we have the Grok ult, and we have the Dumb ult. Three really pivotal ults for this team fight into this point. So looking to try and get them out early, trying to wipe Scarlet and push them back and get as much point capture as possible.
Ooh, and here comes the Midnight coming out from Lizlac there. Will he be able to find anything out of it? Doesn't look like he will, but there we go. Joshua Van's been taken out. Here's a return kill from Zerkboy and another one from King Boo. Both teams trading each other ever so well. Gonna be pushing in the favor of the Scarlet Guard though. That Midnight paying off for them. But that being said, now members of both sides looking to be a little bit disjointed, but the point actually ticking now in the favor of Scarlet Guard.
Yeah, great frames of play from Scarlet Guard there. They only had the Maple, but they made it work. Lizlac went for Joshua and got him out early. Unfortunately, you know, I Play I'm Hockey I'm Cool. They didn't use their ults, but they are using them now. That Grok ult on top of that Makoa ult, keeping him alive, pushing Scarlet so far back. That's 3 kills they've got now. King Boo and Lizlac are forced to retreat, and Karasray are chasing them. Lizlac's so low, and King Boo's so low as well. If they can keep this stagger up, they might even be able to cap here. But Kasai Sama with a nice ult there. But Zerkboy and Kasai both super low. Karasray on the sides there trying to do as much as he can. Joshua's super low, he goes down as well. I Play I'm Hockey I'm Cool, they need to cap this point. Lizlac gets hooked by Kasai. He uses that cleanse, gets some heal, he gets out. Kasai Sama, 1 hit left. Karasray gonna go down. The point's at 93%. That's an Anara ult. Karasray pops the Ruckus ult. He's trying to burst down Atari 2600, but he loses, just gets taken down by Zambi. Lizlac gets the pick onto Zambi. This is an absolute bloodbath. 3 down for I Play I'm Hockey. And Scarlet Guard, they've done an amazing comeback from the use of multiple ults from I Play I'm Hockey I'm Cool. They're gonna take this point.
The Grumpy Bomb we saw earlier on the point managed to pick up the Grok there, taking him right out of the equation. Shadow Walker doing work for his team once again. Just absolutely bringing out phenomenal play. And as you said earlier, who is this man?
Who is this man? He's not a Mexican Gardener Smurf. Is he a Jacob Smurf? We don't know. We'll have to find out. But right now, all the attention is on Scarlet Guard. Fernando ult, Immortal just gets popped out there. That's an ult from Zambi as well. The Meldambra ult managing to capitalize on that to get 2 picks onto the tanks for Scarlet Guard. And now they're going to have to fall back. They're pushing hard so slightly low. But that bounce from Zerkboy on that corner is just doing so much damage. Grok is able to do so much damage now. He does have that extra 25% ammo in his kit, increased from 75 to 100 in the last patch, and it's able to just zone so effectively.
Now the guys on Scarlet Guard just making their way forward as a unit towards the left side of the map. Unfortunately though, their carry, Shadow Walker, being taken out by Joshua Van, but that being said, he gets taken out in turn by Atari 2600. Now the boys in blue coming back once again, getting a pick onto Atari 2600 there. Both teams trading each other really well at the moment, but I Play Hockey I'm Cool looking to have quite a stable defense at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. This game is back and forth, MattSe, and I really do hope we go to a 3-3 last point fight, because those are the games that I love. Those are the exciting matches. And as you said, yeah, Scarlet Guard, they come in, they get some picks, but as soon as I Play I'm Hockey I'm Cool respawn, they, you know, clump together and they get back into that fight. LCS getting caught out a little bit here on the right. Karasray, 1 hit. It's taken down by Fireball. That's a pick for Scarlet Guard. We have the Maybolt getting busted out now. They're looking for Zambi. They want another pick. They get Kasai Sama. Scarlet Guard pushing forward. They're probably going to look to try and commit everything to this if they can get another fight. Get another pick. Sorry, Zerkboy low. Zambi gets taken out in the back. Zerkboy so low. Karasray so low. Scarlet Guard, they're committing to this. They do lose 2 of their own, the Mave and the Fernando. 22 seconds left on the clock. Joshua and Karasray are forced back into their base. Joshua peeks out to throw a fire spin, gets taken out by Shadow Walker. Amazing bomb from him. Someone search up Jacob Smurfs. Swear to God. Okay, we're back in. Karasray sitting off the back there, trying to do as much damage as he can. Lizlac kind of getting poked out in the room on the right there, and everyone's busting on a point. That fantastic Meldamba ult will crash my game.
And And that's going to be absolutely unfortunate for you, Lionberg. That being said, though, now the boys in blue getting 3 picks to their name. Match that 4. Overtime ticking down. They're going to secure themselves a successful defense coming out of that one. Only having to commit 2 ultimates. That's going to be fantastic for them. And now having still 3 to their name, and it looks like it's going to be pretty similar on the other side of things too. Fernando 1% off his Immortal ultimate. Things looking very even coming into this last point here.
And that's all we want. I'm back in now, all sorted. Got 3, as you said. Yeah, the Fernando pretty much going to be 3 ults there. As soon as he leaves spawn, it's probably going to tick up. Then we do have the 3 ults on the side of Play Hockey Cool. So this point fight could really come down to the positioning of each team and how they utilize their ults on top of that. This Ruckus, though, is doing a lot of damage as well as Joshua. Actually, if we look at the damage charts, we have Joshuvan, Karasper, and Ruckus, and we have the Grok all topping the damage charts at over 100k damage.
Now both teams making their way towards the point once again. Here we see Charisma charging straight into the fray. With the use of that Master Riding, he's able to just charge the enemy like a bull there. However, that being said, there comes Immortal from LCS. Not going to be enough to keep him alive, to keep the point in his favor as he gets taken out straight away by Charisma. King Boo takes out Charisma though, but then Joshuvan and Zergboy say no, taking out Lizlak and Atari 2600. There's another one from Joshuvan. The boys, the hockey players, taking the point in their favor once again.
Hockey players doing an amazing job there to keep Scarlet Guard off the point. We still have 2 ults that haven't been used on either team, so going to have to see how these come into play here. Lizlak actually missing a lot of shots and then gets hooked. I didn't realize that Taplin was playing on his account. 78% on the chart now for I Play Hockey Cool. That's a Makoa ult being popped. He's looking for King Boo. King Boo's falling super low, but on the point, it's another thing. Anara pops the ult. Doesn't seem to hit anyone, but Joshuvan comes in, gets that kill, and that's 3 down from Scarlet Guard. And I'll leave my words, MattSe, this is going to be a game for I Play Hockey Cool.
Absolutely fantastic gameplay coming out from both teams. This is the most exciting match we've seen so far tonight. Both of these teams, I've got to say, probably will be taking out the top 2 spots tonight, if I predict correctly. That being said, though, let's take a look at some of the stats.
Yeah, definitely. Look at all this damage, MattSe. We have, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players over 100k damage. And Joshuvan there topping out the game with 146k. Special shout outs to Karis Ray doing amazing work on Ruckus with 140k damage. He must have watched some of my VODs because he's an awesome player. Lizlak coming in, 120k damage, not bad for the Mave. Overall, quite a solid game. Look at this healing. Zambi, 174k, but special note to King Boo, 159k on the Genos.
Absolutely fantastic gameplay coming out from both sides, and Joshuvan topping the damage charts again. I believe he did so in the last game we watched as well. This time actually playing a DPS. Spot on work from him. But with that being said, that's going to be bringing us to the end of that match. And so while we get things set up for the last match of the night, we're going to head to a short break. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to be bringing you the 5th and final match of the night tonight. The teams that we will have before us, one of which being Daddy's here, and a new team we're going to see. It's going to be I Play Blasters 2. Going to be interesting to see what both of these teams are going to bring out before us. That being said, though, Lionberg, we're getting straight into the draft on Serpent Beach.
Serpent Beach, I actually love this map. One of my more favorite maps, and it's the one that's at nighttime too. It's got such cool colors. It's so fun to play. Charlene being banned straight away by a DLS there on the blue side. Pretty standard for this map, and BK being taken out on red, so maybe a bit of a respect ban to, I guess, Shakespeare Jr. or even Gibbo. I believe Gibbo played a fair bit of BK. But that being, I think Shakespeare Jr. is one of his more comfortable picks. And now getting picked up here on the blue side. Nothing too surprising so far, MattSe.
Now, Daddy DLS coming straight, fresh out of the Melbourne Cup. Let's see what he's going to bring us in the Paladin side of things now. But obviously, back over to the red side. The blue side letting Makoa slip past. Going to go to the red side this time around. Comboed up with the Torvald. I feel like those two can go quite well together. And there is a lot of potential for that Hyper Beam to be utilized on this one. So, looking good so far on the red side of things.
Yeah, definitely two really good pickups in the Makoa and Torvald there. And then we see Andro and Meldamba being picked up quite quickly by I Play Blasters too. So, it seems like they know what they're doing.
It does appear to be that way, and Gibbo Gaming, the seller, going to pick up the Meldamba there. Most likely going to trade that one out, though, as he's been seen to be more of a DPS player when I've been seeing him play during the regular season. That being said, though, we're back on the red side of things. Fumi and the Livid Strategist just hovering at the moment. There comes the Grok, there comes the Buck, not being locked in yet, but there's one, there's the other. Now, I feel like both of these picks are going to be quite strong for the red side.
Yeah, look, red side picking up current strong meta picks. You could say that, I guess, Chaplin's more keen to win this game than he was trying to join Avant. We actually see Drogos and Barrack being picked up here. Barrack, he's one of those champs, you know. He's okay in certain situations, but he's not that great anymore. Drogo's definitely a good pickup here, being picked up by Stutter. And I think on the support, we'll probably see Stutter playing the support, and then Gibbo Gaming probably on more of a flex role.
I feel like we could see potentially Gibbo on the Androxus. That being said, though, he's actually going to be playing the support this time around. Interesting to see him on the Meldamba this time. And now, with the drafts actually being finalized on both sides of things, both teams looking quite strong. But while we set things up to get you guys right into game to see the last match of the night with some epic Paladins action, we're going to be heading to a short break.
even die when I don't need you.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be getting right back into the Paladins action before us tonight. The 5th and final match going to be before us right now. It's going to be I Play Blasters 2 up against Daddies here. Let's go, Lionberg.
Excited for this match, last match of the night. Hopefully the goods deliver on one of my favorite maps as well. We see Daddies here going straight over to the sewers, taking a bunch of damage straight off the bat. That's DLS with that fire spit. Shakespeare, getting taken out by the buff and Janos combo there, and DLS actually caught out. He can't fight this buff. He cannot fight this buff. He's going to get taken down. Ultitarium on this buck here, chasing Gibbo Gaming now, while a huge fight goes out on point.
And here we go, Buck taking out, oh, there we go. Buck taking out Gibbo Gaming, the sellout, followed up by a nice trade pick by Shakespeare Jr. though. The points been ticked 99% in the Blasters' favor there. However, Daddy's here contesting the point quite well at the moment, just doing what they can with the Rock Makoa and the Turbo here.
Yeah, definitely do see some more damage getting popped out there by DLS, but Daddy's here, fantastic job to come in. You know, they looked for their picks they needed to before they focused on the point, and now I Play Blasters 2. They've just lost that Andro. Boomai actually goes down to an amazing salvo, and DLS popping that Dragon Punch straight away. He's looking for the Torvald. He takes him down. DLS with a double kill. Livid Strategist so low on that Grok. Shakespeare Jr. gets a kill onto Buck, and I Play Blasters have taken that point down.
Stop the payload.
The DPS on the side of the Blasters just doing so much work. The Androxus and the Drogos comboing absolutely fantastically. That being said though, they are keeping the guys on Daddies here on their toes, and I feel like they won't even let them pass this choke point here.
Yeah, definitely. I Play Blasters doing an excellent job here. DLS getting another kill. DLS is doing great. And you know, it's a bit sad to see, even after HRO, Kaplan still doesn't know how to get a point.
Enemy rampage.
And unfortunately, Kaplan going to be taken out there by Daddy DLS. And Daddy DLS doing a lot of damage towards the Buck there. Unfortunately for him though, Buck going to utilize that recovery ability to gain all of his health back once again. Now if you look at the top side of things, Buck actually does have the wind-up available now. So if he needs to use that, he can. And that being said, there he goes, using that Buck Wild. Going to try and do some damage towards the barrack. It's not going to be enough though. Being taken to such low health, gets shielded by Torvald just in the nick of time though to keep him in this fight.
Yeah, definitely. Started there getting taken out on the point. This team, I Play Blasters, they're getting a little bit staggered here. This choke point here is really difficult to manage on certain beach. So if I Play Blasters want to push this through, they might even need to wait for some ults. They've got a Drogo's, Meldamba, and an Ara, and almost a Barrack ult up. If they can get a couple picks and push back up to this choke, they might be able to get it through with some of those ults. But Daddy's here doing a fantastic job trying to hold them off at the moment.
Both teams very close in for the time being. That being said though, there's the seismic crash going to come out from the Inara. Gibbo Gaming securing a nice kill under Taplin there. Good job, Salah. There's another two coming out from Daddy DLS though, and all of Daddy's here being absolutely wiped out. It seems that the real Daddy's going to be Daddy DLS this time around. Daddy is here and he's taking the point.
Absolutely amazing play there from I Play Blasters. Opening this up with a quick 2-0. I didn't think it was going to be this fast. I thought this was going to be a much closer game. But DLS doing God's work on that Drogos.
And if you take a look at the damage values, oh my god, Lionberg. God. DLS going above and beyond everyone else in this game. Over 30,000 damage above anyone behind him.
That's actually insane. But, you know, to give him, you know, a bit of explanation there, he is versing a Torvald and a McCullis, and, you know, these are quite stacking teams. So every time he's throwing out that fire spit, you know, he's doing pretty much as maximum damage as he could hope for. Just shows that, you know, the Drogos in this situation is a fantastic pickup.
Now both teams making their way towards the point once again. Taplin being stalled out there by Shakespeare Jr. Actually managing to utilize that nether step very effectively. Oh, what's going on with Taplin here? He's looking a little bit shaky. Looks like a potential game glitch coming out there. No, he's finally come back. Maybe a little bit of lag stalling him out of this one, but now both of those members of the individual teams making their way back towards the point. Who's going to be able to close this one out?
There's just stuff going on everywhere. Barrack drops his ult, Makoa drops his ult in answer, Boris 360, pops the 12-volt ult and just gets that Barrack off the point. We're at 96% for the point. Mai actually, with a good ult there, managing to pick up Skeptic Stutter, and now the Barrack is super low. That's an ult drop from the Fernando, picking up the Grok. The Mai gets taken down the back, and somehow through all of that, Daddy's here manages to lose 4 players, and now it's just up to Taplin.
Escort the payload.
Blasters absolutely dominating Daddy's here for the time being. Here's Taplin trying to take out Shakespeare Jr., but fortunately, Shakespeare baits him for his teammate Daddy DLS to take him out of the equation, now leaving Daddy's here staggered once again. Let's take a look at Gibbo Salah.
Look, this cart is just getting free pushed here at the moment. Daddy's here, they're stuck, you know. They've got this buck, but he's just taking so much damage from Andrew and other sources. He's just getting taken out so fast. And this cart, it's getting free pushed, MattSe. No one's contesting it. They must have been speaking to Vecro because no one's standing on point.
Yeah, it seems like they aren't really aware of it, more interested in the damage side of things rather than the actual point. All the guys on Daddy's here just maintaining that high ground, but now a couple of their members are contesting the point. That being said though, Bucks ran straight away. Genos having to contest the point by himself. That's not going to be good for the guys on Daddy's here. Now, unfortunately for him, his teammates finally emerging onto the point.
Yeah, unfortunately from iPlay Blasters, they stacked up quite heavily at the end there, and they kind of left their 2 tanks at the front while everyone backed off. So that allowed Daddy's here to, you know, really capitalize on that situation and get a couple picks there. We see Buck just taking out Gibbo Gaming and Boris as well taking out DLS. You know, iPlay Blasters, they have 3 ults up their sleeves, actually almost 4. So if they want to commit to this, if they want to play this just to get the ult charge before they go in, this could definitely be really, really good for them.
Here comes the accursed arm from Shakespeare Jr. Unfortunately, not able to pick up anyone out of that one. However, it looks like Droomy being taken out by his basic attacks. Now, Applin being taken out as well. Here's Daddy DLS with 2 to his name as well. Now, Shakespeare Jr. getting another one. Clean up on Isle. Serpent Beach. That's going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. I believe that the Daddies here, folks, will not be able to make their way back towards the point. I am right. The Blasters take the game away. GG.
Amazing plays from iPlay Blasters there. You know, I thought the hockey players were the cleaners, but definitely looks like the Blasters are cleaners too, because the trash has been well and truly taken out.
Now, bringing our way to the scoreboard here, we take a look at some of the stats across the board.
Just look at DLS surging forward. This man must have had one of the best Drogos games of his life. 85k damage. The next highest in the server actually being Shakespeare Jr. on 52k. So more than 30k ahead of that. That's actually quite good. That's pretty amazing, MattSe.
Absolutely great gameplay coming out from the Blasters. Didn't expect them to do as well as they did, but absolutely cleaning up the Daddies here, folks. But with that being said, that's going to bring us to the end of the final match of the night. And while we tally up the MVP votes and get the randomly drawn team of the night sorted, we're going to head to a short break. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The results are in, and now I must say congratulations to the following teams in order. Coming in first place out of tonight's competition is going to be I Play Hockey, I'm Cool. Congratulations, guys. You guys are going to be getting 400 crystals per player.
And coming in at second place tonight, we have Genos's Mains. Great games coming out from those guys we've seen tonight, and they're going to be picking up 200 crystals per person.
And now in third place, it's going to be the Squeaker Squad. Congratulations, guys. Well fought, and you managed to pick up some prizing for your efforts. You guys are going to be taking away 100 crystals per player.
And finally, for the MVP and randomly drawn teams, we have MVP actually going towards KrunchyBones. So congratulations, Crunchy. You have won a legendary skin rather, appropriate to your role. Hit up Jaws about that one and he will sort you out. And tonight, for the randomly drawn team, we actually have Scarlet Guard. And you guys will be receiving 100 crystals each.
So congratulations to all those teams tonight. Absolutely phenomenal gameplay coming out across the board. Seeing some surprises from players that we haven't really seen before, Lionberg.
Yeah, definitely. Shadow Walker, being a bit of surprise on that Bomb King. And we had DLS in our last game, Castle of the Night, doing amazing work on that Drogos. And overall, tonight, really fun to cast, MattSe. It was a pleasure being here, and we've seen a lot of great games.
Pleasure having you on board, and hopefully we'll have you on board once again in future weeks of the Paladins Community Tournament Night in the OCE region.
Worries.
Now, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the games tonight, and the end of the competition so far. Stay tuned on OCE Paladins Discord for more information regarding the next CTN, obviously being the 8th edition. Thank you all so much for tuning in to the broadcast tonight. We're happy to bring you all of this Paladins gameplay and commentary. And until next time, guys, peace.
Does a great job of just stalling